Hey folks, and welcome back over here at Gatekeeper Media as we bring you the coverage of the 2022 Dynamic Disc Open out in Emporia, Kansas. Once again, a special shout out to all of you for tuning in, and a special thank you to all of our Patreon supporters who help make all of this possible. My name is Dustin Mouret, and I'll be bringing you the solo commentary for our Elite Series stop here in Kansas, with our first couple of rounds being at the new Supreme 18 layout at Jones Park. And after the front nine, Brodie Smith leading the way, tied for first at 8 under par. Tristan Tanner not too far behind. And finally, Lizotte still sitting in the top 10 there to tie for 7th. Of course, it is Thomas Gilbert who's knotted up with Brodie Smith at the top of the leaderboard, with James Conrad and Nolan Ramser just in behind, and Ricky Wysocki rounding out the top 5. As we get to hole 10, a slightly downhill tee shot, a very difficult par for 833 feet, lots of low ceilings once you start trying to approach this green. You really need to stay as center cut as possible on this fairway. There's kind of a little ditch that rides through the middle. Being near that, certainly good. I would say being a little bit right is better. The more left you are off the tee, the more cut off you can be from approaching on your second shot. See, Brodie just trying to play the slight turnover here. Kind of gets caught up on that right-hand side, but then fights back out and is in really the ideal position. Of course, there is OB if you go too far right. And the fairway does narrow as you go up, with OB surrounding both sides of it. Good shot here from Justin Rosak. Not as much forward progress, but at least accurate. Again, worth noting, as always in Emporia, very heavy winds, and today was even gustier than the opening day. So definitely a consistent challenge off the tee and on the putting greens. See a good shot there from Simon Lizotte. And we got Tristan Tanner, who opened with the turkey, but has hit a couple of bumps in the road since. Playing the forehand. Wind's kind of eating that one up a little bit, but it's fighting out. As it runs out of steam, it will begin to fall.
That was an error for forever.
And that will drop down towards the center. So not too shabby there for Tristan Tanner. Simon will get caught up on that ceiling. Drops down, though, towards the center of the fairway. Should still have a chance to get up and down for par. But a tough footing here for Justin Rosak. Once again, playing that slight turnover. And does well. This is a very hard hole to birdie. Worth noting now, telling you it played as the second most difficult hole on the course. As that one gets tangled up there from Tristan Tanner, and luckily stays away from OB. Yeah, played .75 strokes over par on the day. Only 4% of the field finding the birdie, so just to go show how difficult this hole really was. That one just got a little bit too high. Now we finally get up to Brodie for his second shot. Still trying to approach this green for birdie. Again, it is a rare find on this course. But he's in the ideal position.
Oh, you doggy.
I don't think he's still pretty human. That will get caught up on that left-hand side, now at best finding the par. And here's Simon trying to get up and down for par. Good shot out the hand. Good skips. And well within circle one to try to go ahead and get that 4. And his forehand goes a little bit astray for Tristan, but hangs on towards the edge of the circle. Oh, we want to throw in from Justin Rosak. Oh, and it couldn't have come at a better time. I know he's had some struggles throughout the day, so to see that go in for a 3 is beautiful. Did not know that had happened. Wow. And in case you were curious, that was a 179-foot throw-in. Of course, he had a 102 throw-in yesterday on hole 11 for birdie. He's had a couple of big ones already, as we are going to see Simon Lizotte get his par. Brodie as well looking to tap in his par here. That'll do. Yeah, Justin Rosak got his birdie, and there was 3 other players who got it. That was Jordan Castro, Silas Schultz, and Albert Tam. And Jordan Castro also had an 178-foot throw-in for his. So long throw-ins required there for a lot of those. We get to hole 11, a 493-foot par 3. Very narrow fairway. The OB all along the left and right-hand side. Got to really get the height and power on this pretty much perfect. That's a great line out of Justin Rosak if it could just hold. Fades out a little bit sooner than he was hoping for. Stays in bounds, though. Oh, this could be good if it gets out. But just holds that turn and hits the cedar. Winds are certainly kicking here. This is a little low out of Simon's hands, but stays center cut. Unfortunate cut roll, though. That cedar might pose a problem. And it's worth noting that this car was kind of chasing the rain that was going to be coming later in the afternoon and evening. And so the winds were kind of picking up, and the weather was looking more and more dangerous as the day passed on. There's Tristan. Stays in bounds. But everyone is looking to get up and down for par at this point. As this actually plays the 4th most difficult hole. Only 5% of the field finding the birdie, and it was 0.48 strokes over par on the day. Simon will be kind of right there on the edge of the circle. Long putt for his par. Good forehand pitch up there from Brodie right near the bullseye. Justin Rosak also parking the basket there for his par look. Tristan giving that a chance. A little bit deep, but stays in the circle for his own look at a par. But yeah, this is a very long bid, and again, in these windy conditions, these putts got even more tricky. But Simon will stick it in there. Let's rewind that back. Very impressive putt, considering the winds. Right there near the edge of the circle. But puts it in and maintains his position in the top 10 of the leaderboard. Justin Rosak will find his par. Brodie to follow suit. Tristan Tanner will take the bogey. So we get to hole 12, an island green, 302 feet. All of this tall brown grass is going to play as OB. Basket sits on the right-hand side near that OB line. A couple different options to attack this hole. Could see the forehand up the middle. Could see the spike hyzer out wide right. It's all about that distance control and placement. Justin Rosak skips that one into the out of bounds, which is just so easy to do on this island green. It's got so much ground action there. Brodie too looking for the forehand on the island. Great spiking hyzer line. Oh, a little bit of a scary roll, and the wind's keeping it up and rolling more. Now it's flipped. Oh my goodness, that was so scary. I don't know that he will have realized just how nuts that was, but it does stay near the bullseye. That's just really good evidence of this win. Simon gets on the green, but really no look at a birdie putt from over there, you'd imagine. Now Tristan looking to play his forehand. Trying to spike it in there. He too will have an obstructed putt. Tristan from the drop zone is trying to punch one up there and goes out of bounds again. And has to stay at the drop zone. That one will settle in, but that's going to take its toll. A little bit of a Y gap here for Simon to go through. Gives it a look and puts it in. I thought he was going to be out of position, but Simon had different plans. What a beautiful putt from Lizotte. Right through the Y gap. What a putt. Tristan 2 facing a tough putt just outside the circle. And just a little high and gets a nasty roll.
Heads up, heads up, heads up.
Oh my goodness. I mean, at least it stays in bounds, I guess, is the optimistic way to look at it. But that is dirty. Longer putt than he started with. And catches a tree. That will go high as well. That's going to be a big number for Tristan. Here's Brodie for birdie. That will drop in there. Puts him the 4 under on the day and keeps him in that tie for first place. Rosak will take a triple.
There's the event caddy book and there's the Disc Golf Pro Tour caddy book. There's some discrepancies.
And that's a double. Back after a short break.
Gotcha.
Now we get to hole 13, a 466-foot par 3. That little patch of water there does play as OB, but this water near the pin is going to be casual. Pretty well-guarded green. Plays a little bit downhill, but definitely have to be very accurate to hit this gap on the front of the green. And wow, that is shanked. And that will go out of bounds. Not sure what happened there from Brodie. It seemed like that came out way early. Turnover here from Simon Lizotte. It's caught up on these trees on the right-hand side. And again, these winds are just brutal to try to figure out how to navigate through them all. Again, a hole that's right there in front of you, but this green's really well protected, so keeping something really center cut, trying to hit that gap way down the fairway is ideal to give yourself a putt. And yeah, that's just a rough-looking forehand from Tristan Tanner. That's way outright. Not actually out of bounds, though, but still just so out of position. And it's worth noting now, and I mean, this is going to come up later. I'm not going to spoil anything, but Tristan Tanner, I know for a fact, was having some issues on the day. Was feeling very ill, posted about it on social media, was having a lot of body aches, and it was just getting progressively worse throughout the day, making it hard for him to walk, let alone play. And so I'm assuming that has a lot to do with why you saw that errant tee shot. We're seeing the rest of our carders try to pitch up and see if they can salvage par out of this. And yeah, I mean, Tristan's so out of position here. Having to just go to forehand roller. Looks like it got up there. Here's Simon pitching up. Dustin 2 just kind of pitching up to the green. Brodie trying to see if he can somehow salvage par from outside the circle. Just kind of floats one in there. Not quite going to catch it. We'll just have to settle for the 4. Attempted a throw in there from Tristan Tanner with his forehand after the forehand roller, but he too will have to settle for a 4. So he's starting to take a little bit of a beating after the hot start these last few holes. Simon Lizotte takes the par.
Maybe you step in it and water comes up to your shoe.
Where's our guy?
It's fine. I got it. You good? Yeah. I don't know what the definition of casual water is in disc golf.
So a little bit of discussion there, but Justin Rosak pays no mind to it. Just takes his lie, takes his par.
Simon got casual back there because his was like right in the water.
No, obviously it's right in the water.
Tristan takes the 4. Brodie Smith will follow suit. Actually wants to take in a double. So we get to hole 4, a 600, or hole 14 rather, a 690-foot par 4. Definitely have to try to get over this water carry, put yourself in good position, center the fairway. Then you have a little bit of a gap you have to hit to get to the putting green. It's kind of like a double island hole almost. Certainly the putting green is kind of an island there. Though I would say the backside doesn't really come into play. So you're going to see Simon Lizotte get one up there nicely. This is a great slow turning shot out of Justin's hands. That will make some really good progress. Let's take a look here at his form. Just kind of get a look at Justin Rosak. Not someone we gotten to see on coverage too much, but yeah, just a really smooth backhand for him. Short X step, lots of power, very controlled. Now we have Tristan. Bigger hyzer here, carrying way left, threatening the OB, and it does fall into it. Another tough break here for Tristan Tanner. Good looking shot here from Brodie Smith. Takes a great line. Plays kind of over towards that right-hand side, but still cuts in. And again, it's really about your second shot. Can you get through this gap? There's one main one kind of centered, but there's also a couple to the left of center that you could get through. And Justin Rosak does find his way pinned. Absolutely parked. Really well done.
Oh, Shankopotamus.
Yeah. A little bit yanked there, and actually does go OB for Brodie. He knew it. This looks a little low. Still skips over, though. Does get on that island. Here's Tristan. Trying to make something happen, but so cut off on that left-hand side, and still actually does make it across. Outside the circle, so no real putt, but trying to make something happen. Brodie not even happy with that. Just trying to get much closer for a more routine putt. Oh, Simon almost gives it another go. Already had a pretty crazy putt just a couple of holes ago. That one doesn't quite fall in. As you can see, Tristan's just kind of struggling, and again, was dealing with massive body aches. As Brodie will find the putt, at least walks away with a 5. Doesn't take too much damage. As if you see there, Tristan Tanner does pick up his disc, and he does DNF. Again, just dealing with illness all day. Wound up posting on social media that he had to go to the ER, so we wish him well. I mean, I know we got the next hole coming up, but I really do hope that Tristan Tanner can recover. Hope that it's nothing too serious. Great guy. I love watching his content. Love seeing him out on tour, and just wish him the best. So we get to a 396-foot par 3 here on hole 15. Justin Rosak leading the way. It's one of those holes that you really want to get. There is an OB road all along the right-hand side, and as you get closer to the putting green, there is water on the left that narrows the fairway with OB. And again, these trees definitely pose some obstacles that you have to get around, making you play a longer line than the 396. You're seeing an example of that there as Simon Lizotte plays that skip shot over the road. Really well done. And here is a look at Simon. One of the most pristine forms in disc golf. Just such a great fundamentals. Never really looks like he's having to put too much effort into his throw. Just looks so smooth, but gets so far off the tee when he wants to. Probably one of the best forms to look at to learn, in my opinion. Brodie Smith may look to do something similar, try to play that flex line around that cedar on the right-hand side. Actually, no, tries to play one up the middle. Not quite going to get up there, though. As we see Justin Rosak pitching up. Brodie doing the same, just trying to settle up there close for par, and he'll do just that. And Simon does have to look for birdie here, but again, these winds could make this putt very tricky. Just outside the circle, it appears. Gives it a soft little floaty run, catches some chains, but does not drop in the basket. Oh, and a little bit wide there from Rosak. Take another bogey here. It's going to put him 8 over on the round thus far. Starting to lose some position. Hopefully he can clean it up here on these last couple of holes and try to limit the damage as we see these pars get tapped in by Simon and Brodie. We'll be back after a short break.
If disc golf is your game, make Gotta Go, Gotta Throw your disc golf warehouse. With a huge selection of discs, bags, baskets, carts, shirts, and more. GottaGoGottaThrow.com has all the tools to take your game to the next level. Shop online or our Golden Valley, Minnesota store. Free shipping with all online orders over $75. Online or in-store, get what you need for the game you love. GottaGoGottaThrow.com, your disc golf warehouse. In the game since 1993.
All right, now we head to hole 16, a very difficult par 4. You really want to land your disc right around there by that tee pad that you saw us pass by before this brown patch of grass. It sets you up for your best bet for approaching this green. Very difficult par 4. Lots of distance, and you have to be very accurate. Again, all this tall brown grass plays is out of bounds. So staying right. And skipping off this road's not always bad, but not if you can't get back in bounds. The post stops Simon dead in his tracks. That's unfortunate. Looked like a good shot at first. No road required there for Brodie, but he's kind of tangled up by that tree. I'm not sure what kind of footing he's going to have. This looks low out of Justin's hands, and that actually doesn't even make it past the OB. Has to re-tee here. That was technically never inbounds off the tee. The OB's right there in front of the tee pad. And here's where Simon's left. And you can see there's that thin strip of trees on the right-hand side. That is all inbounds, but it's that tall brown grass that's OB that you have to play over. Big turnover here from Simon to try to make some magic happen. And that's actually going to go OB deep. And I'm sure that's very frustrating. And yeah, there's nothing here for Brodie. He has to just pitch up to that short tee pad, short of that OB patch. Now just playing for par. This is a good shot if it can stable up and get forward. And yeah, gets out there. Short of the circle, though. Justin Rosak actually gives that a bit of a run. Hits the top band. Trying to give us some fireworks here. Simon will just be pitching up there pretty much, and this is a long par putt for Brodie. Well into circle 2. Low float run and almost sinks it.
That would have been sick.
That would have been, yes, I agree. It's a good try. Simon taps in the double. Unfortunate OBs. Another double as well there for Justin. And we're going to see Simon take, or excuse me, Brodie take a single. So we head into hole 17, a 710-foot par 4. This is probably one of the most congested fairways on the course as far as just how many trees you have to contend with on your way towards the pin. There is an OB patch off the front of the tee as well that you need to play over, and then OB all on the right and left. I would say more towards the right-hand side of the fairway is probably the more open side once you get past this patch of OB. So Spike Heiser will land somewhere in bounds. We'll get up to it later. Simon spikes one in there. Pretty much lands dead center of the fairway. We'll definitely have some trees to navigate around to get up to the putting green, but at least it's clean off the tee and about as center as you could want to be. That one spikes in pretty centered as well. Justin will be first to act. And really feel for him. He had such a great first round. He's had some bright moments throughout, but has just kind of overall had some struggles. And they will just continue. Another out-of-bounds penalty for Justin Rosak. Brodie trying to play out wide. Skipping it in. Right near the pin. So well done from Brodie. What a shot. What does Simon have here? He had the furthest progress up the fairway. Playing a very overstable mid, maybe a mutant. Needs it to stay in bounds, and no. Just a little too much ground action over on that left edge. Rosak just pitching up, trying to tread water. As we see Simon just lay it up. Doesn't want to deal with this wind, not on this putting green. Justin gives it a go, will land it, takes a single here. Simon will follow suit with his own, and Brodie has a putt for birdie here, as he's fighting for a position on the lead card, which I think might be one of his first lead cards, especially at an Elite Series. Now, he's been on a couple of feature cards, and I think he may have been on some Silver Series coverage, but not really sure about Elite Series. But nonetheless, playing really well so far through these first couple of rounds. As we head into hole 18, the 789-foot par 4. You need to get through that initial gap, out into this field, and then put yourself in a good position to get through this gap we're flying through now. That's really your best way to get up to this green and have a chance of getting your birdie. Another very lengthy and at times difficult par 4, especially in the windy conditions. Good looking line here from Brodie Smith. Gets out into the open. It's just really about what kind of angle he's going to have into the green. Has really that one main gap to really fight through. Simon gets out into a similar angle. There is that Mando out there that you do see that you do need to stay to the left of. Pretty easy to avoid that, though. So we're going to get to Simon up first here for the second shot, dealing with this wind again. It's getting progressively worse throughout the round. He's trying to fight through this gap. Had a good angle to fight into it. And yeah, that's well done. Simon ending his round off strong. Like a big flex shot there from Justin Rosak. Let's make it across, so it will not be OB, but we'll have to settle for a par. Yeah, here's Brodie. Also has a good look to get through the gap to get up and down.
No!
Just yanks it right. Fights through inbounds, but birdie pretty much off the table. Justin pitches one up there a little bit deep of the pin, but in the green.
Tail and putt. Long right.
You can hear a little bit of game plan there from Brodie, wanting to be a little bit long to set up a tailwind putt for par. I mean, he accomplishes his goal. Gets on that backside. Justin probably was thinking the same thing with his forehand up shot. And here he is with that tailwind putt for par. Just wind drops it more than he was hoping for. Gonna take another number here. And Brodie will end it with a par. 6 under total, 1 under on the round, and a spot on the lead card for the third day of the tournament. Opening day at the Emporia Country Club. And here's Simon. Chance to get something going here. Does have a bit of a headwind putt. No problem. Collects the birdie. Ties him for 8th. So right there in the mix. And that will finish us up as Justin Rosak punches out. And this is going to be our round 2 result. As you can see, Brodie there in second. A tie for 8th there for Simon Lizotte. And that is going to do it here. You can look at the leaderboard. Ricky Wysocki, Brodie, Thomas Gilbert, James Conrad on the lead card. And Matt Oram, Kevin Jones, Gannon Berg going to be some of our players running out the chase card for our coverage tomorrow for Gatekeeper Media. Again, thank you so much for tuning in, and a special shout out to our Patreon supporters who helped make this all possible. Again, I am Dustin Mouret. I've had an absolute pleasure bringing you the commentary and learning as I go. Glad to keep doing this all year and hopefully continue to get better and really just enjoying myself and really love the sport. And if you want to give me a follow, you can. It's follow Dust at Instagram and Dustin Disc on YouTube. And again, make sure you follow and subscribe so you can catch future coverage here for the Disc Golf Pro Tour, and I'll catch you on the next round. Have a good one.